Welcome to Shorty, SuperCoach, and welcome to a long-awaited press conference. I haven't done one for a while. The weeks are busy. I've been trying to find space for them early on, but particularly early in the week, has been just flat out. I've been writing an article for Dr. SuperCoach sort of every couple of weeks, and I file that sort of late Sunday, and the Monday I finish it off, and me and a few mates have been doing a podcast as well. We record that on the Monday. AFL Unlimited. Go to Facebook, Spotify. You can search that up. But I'll do an actual video for a bit of a shout out soon enough. But yeah, so they've been flat chat. I need to sort of rearrange the schedule to try and find a bit more better of a time slot for the press conference. Even today, busy like work. Smashed out the gym. Had to go to do a couple other bits and pieces. Get dinner and all that, and here I am. It's getting pretty late, but excuse me, let's have a look at my side anyway. And I fared a little bit better this week, and gee, I needed to, because I've been going absolute trash, as you can see. Went up nearly 20,000 spots, and still it's a pretty poor representation for a bloke who runs a YouTube channel on the topic, but nonetheless, I'm fighting back. I said in my weekend preview last week that I needed to respond, so I'm glad I did. We had a couple of guys who had been out of form that returned to some good form. So I would like to think I can start to climb back towards that top 10,000, because that's still the aim. It's been a terrible start, but and in terms of my side, Lloyd was good, Doherty pretty solid, even though he got a bit of attention. Daniel was good. And the bottom three there in the back line really struggled. Sicily couldn't get into it. Just one of those games where, sometimes he's on that intercepting sort of a roll, and other times he just doesn't seem to be getting anywhere near it. I'm a bit concerned about the back line, just in the way whether maybe Rivers might get dropped. I'm not sure. But I just feel a little bit vulnerable in terms of, gosh, I swear I don't have the Rona, but a bit vulnerable in terms of the back line and the options in terms of rookies, but we'll deal with that. We'll wait till the teams. As for the rest of my side, the midfield went pretty good. Neil's just on fire. He'd be well clear in the Brownlow right now. Him and Travis Boak. Cripps was pretty reasonable after being held pretty quiet early. Kelly's responded well after a poor start of the season. Oliver isn't using the ball well, but he just finds a lot of it. He was okay from a score point of view. Raul was the big disappointment. Obviously, he's been fantastic for us, but disappointing for him to go out in that fashion, because we all were riding that wave, weren't we? It was great to see him playing so well and scoring so well for our sides too, and making heaps of money. It was great. But we'll have to offload him, because he's out for about 3 months. And Tommy Green went pretty solid. Same with McInerney. Brown, not so good. Went poor. That's why it's frustrating to have Vandermeer sitting there too. You feel like you lose 70 points there, but what can you do? And I got Gawn in, like I said in the preview last week. I wanted to just go Naismith straight to Gawn. Didn't want to muck around. So I feel like I've just got my ruck department set. Hopefully there's no injuries and we'll be good as gold. But both of them were really, really good. Martin and Whitfield are not setting the world on fire, are they? Particularly Whitfield. And these were two guys that we just said were out and out locks for the start of the season. And I stand by that. I think they'll come good. But at the minute, they're just going okay. Nothing too fancy. But hopefully they respond, because, they're blokes we paid a fair bit of money for. Brayshaw, thank goodness he finally came good. He'd been just solid numbers, but he really had a big influence on the weekend, and that was good. I'd held on to him with little faith. He probably was running out of chances, and there were just more pressing issues, so it's a little bit lucky that I did keep him, but I'll take that. Devon Smith, he's had a pretty solid season. Not the best couple of weeks of late, but he's going solid. Curtis Taylor was fantastic. Sturt was pretty solid too, as was Max King. So we're starting to get a little bit of cash generation as well with a few guys that are starting to produce some good scores as rookies, which just helps to turn the cash over. But in terms of this week, I think I'm going to bring in P. Dangerfield. So I think I'll obviously get rid of Rowell and I'll go up to Dangerfield. I think I'll only have to acquire another 50k, and that might be, it'll depend on what rookies I have available to me, but Starcevic is probably about time to go. Pickett, Brown, Buderick, you could mount cases for all those guys. They probably haven't, they're not going to give us a stack of a return because they haven't gone up that much, but I think we've just got to do it. We've got to strike while the iron's hot. I think we need to make some moves early because most of you will get to a stage where trades, in essence, are unlimited when we have 2 trades per round, basically. Right now, what is there, like 12 weeks left, and I've got 21 trades, so I'm a bit below the 2 trade per week, but there'll be people out there who can just burn trades now. And that's not to say don't be wise about it, still be smart, but these trades are not as golden as they used to be because we've kept the same amount of trades, but we've slashed 5 weeks off the season. So we should be able to trade intelligently, and there's no excuse to not end with a really good side full of premiums pretty soon. So let's keep working on that. Certainly there's a few players that are starting, or premiums that are starting to drop a little bit in price too. So I'll have a bit of a look at that in the weekend preview, probably just before the Geelong-Brisbane game on Thursday. So we'll see how we go there. I'll have a look at the teams and bust out a weekend preview later in the week. But hopefully you had a decent week. It's good to finally be back in front of you talking about the press conference, and at least it was a decent score because, gee, there'd been a run of absolute garbage. So Shorty's back just a little bit, but we need some consistency. So I'll talk to you guys soon anyway. Cheers.